Your love is typhoon-proof.
Today on Rappler.
Dear girls, boys, young people, today's world, there's a great lack of capacity of knowing how to cry.
Pope Francis tells the Filipino youth, don't be afraid to cry. In his last Mass, Pope Francis says the baby Jesus or the Santo Nino is at the core of the Filipino Catholic's identity. And digital activity in the texting capital of the world slows to a halt as networks shut down for security reasons. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. We're coming to you from the International Media Center near where the Pope held his last Mass in the Philippines. This is day 4 of Pope Francis's 5-day visit. Welcome to Rappler's Wrap for the Day, a list of the most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. For the second day in a row, Pope Francis joins Filipinos in the rain. The first theme today is the future, the Filipino youth, whom he met with at the University of Santo Tomas, Asia's oldest Catholic university. A boy and a girl from a home for abused and abandoned children tell their stories to the Pope. The boy, June Chura, talks about substance abuse, while 12-year-old Grisela Palomar breaks down in tears, asking why God allows drugs and prostitution to happen.
Marami na po ang mga batang pinabayaan ng kanilang mga magulang. Marami sa kanila ang naging biktima at masama ang nangyari sa kanila, tulad ng droga o prostitution. Bakit po pumapayag ang Diyos na may ganitong nangyayari?
Pope Francis takes them in his arms. In his response, the Pope speaks about suffering. He responds extemporaneously, setting aside his prepared message because, in his words, reality is better than ideas.
Why do children suffer? When the heart is able to ask itself and cry, then we can understand something. There is a worldly compassion which is useless. It's a compassion which, moreover, leads us to put our hand into the pocket and give something to someone. Dear girls, boys, young people, today's world, there's a great lack of capacity of knowing how to cry. Certain realities in life we only see through eyes that are cleansed through our tears. I invite each one of you here to ask yourself, have I learned how to weep, how to cry?
Francis then looks out and says, there are too few women in the crowd.
And only a very small representation of females among you. Too little. Women are able to pose questions that we men are not able to understand. So when the next Pope comes, please, more girls, women among the number.
An estimated 6 million people, including the crowd along the route, turn up in one of the world's largest papal gatherings. Riding the jeepney-inspired Pope Mobile for the first time, Francis makes his way to Luneta Park to celebrate Holy Mass with the full pomp and pageantry of the Catholic Church. Architect-priest Father Alex Bautista designed the altar. He calls it a labor of love.
No, if we cannot bring him to go around the country, at least elements from the Philippines will be will be present here in the Mass of the Holy Father. The singkap, which is the decoration of the canopy, made from bamboo, yung mga kinayas na kawayan, no, typical of Bulacan. And so we use that to make a lace work. The altar table, no, which is made from wood, but the tabletop, we have the marble from Romblon, the cloth, the fall. Sa side ng altar table, we will have pinya cloth. The Pope, sir, will take the anahaw as a motif. Anahaw is our national leaf, Philippine national leaf, and it's a strong leaf, no, and it has jagged edges. Parang it represents the strength of the Filipino people. There's a carving above the chair, the head of the chair. Will have the carving of a Filipino good shepherd carrying a sheep and a staff. And text in Filipino ang mabuting pastol. And we made it a point rin na pag nakaupo ang Santo Papa, pag kinuhanan siya ng image, parating nandun yung ang mabuting pastol in Filipino. Are the images of Nuestra Señora de Guia, which is the oldest Marian image we have in Manila. And another image is the image of Santo Nino. And so it has a cultural value in itself. Every detail, Gustave Flaubert said na lubong duidong lu detail, the good Lord is in the detail. So every detail that we put is a detail that we offer to the Lord. Our work becomes our prayer these past days in organizing all of this.
Many among the millions who attended the Luneta Mass brought images of the Santo Nino. Pope Francis weaves his homily around the uniquely Filipino icon of the baby Jesus.
It's a special joy for me to celebrate Santo Nino Sunday with you. That is what the Santo Nino tells us. He reminds us of our deepest identity. We saw a beautiful expression of this when Filipinos rallied around our brothers and sisters affected by the typhoon.
He calls on Filipinos to protect the young, in his words, the frail child, to build a world of justice, integrity, and peace. Carmela Fonbuena has more on the Pope's last Mass in the Philippines.
Pope Francis meets government officials in Malacanang, prays at the Manila Cathedral, and typhoon victims in Leyte. Here in Luneta, he meets the general Filipino Catholics, sees the Filipino culture and how it shows in their faith. It's a fiesta that cannot be dampened even by a typhoon. The Mass is solemn. Pope Francis repeats his message against corruption and highlights the need to protect the Filipino family, a condemnation of a new government policy that funds contraceptives for the poor. The Mass is a culmination of his visit to the Philippines, where he called on Filipinos to become outstanding missionaries and asked them to pray for him. Carmela Fonbuena, Rappler, Manila.
At the end of the event, the Mass turns into a rally complete with repeated cheers for Pope Francis.
Your love for the Filipino people is stronger than all typhoons. Your love is typhoon-proof. We promise you, we will be your lights. We will be the lights of Jesus for Asia and the world. You are our raincoat in the rain. Pope Francis, we love you.
Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle promises the Pope Filipinos will pray for him in helping the marginalized.
Every Filipino wants to go with you, not to Rome, but to the peripheries.
During Pope Francis' stay in the Philippines, digital activity in the texting capital of the world slows to a halt as telecommunication networks partially or fully shut off mobile services. Networks say government authorities ordered the shutdown for public safety. Smart Communications issued daily SMS advisories to subscribers warning of cellular signal shutdown in places close to the Pope's activities. Globe Telecom's SMS advisory from last Friday says this was done with the directive of the National Telecommunications Commission. We hope for your understanding. Mobile phones are often used to detonate explosives. Like in Leyte, Tropical Storm Amang does not stop Filipinos from coming out in the rain to see the Pope. State Weather Bureau Pagasa says Amang moves northwest towards the province of Sorsogon at 15 kilometers per hour, bringing rain to Metro Manila and some parts of Luzon. Manila is at signal number 1. For those on desktop, click on the links on your screen. You can also click on the tabs below to go to a story in the video. And for those on smartphones and tablets, the links can be found below the video. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. If we look at today's mood navigator in the middle of the front page, the story with the biggest circle, that means the largest number of votes, is this. The full text, Pope Francis' homily, the Holy Mass in Tacloban. Today, most people are inspired. That is the wrap for today, Sunday, January 18th, day 4 of Pope Francis's Philippine visit. Visit Rappler.com for the latest news here and around the world. Check out our other shows, Tech Wrap and Talk Thursday. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll continue to bring you the latest of Pope Francis's Philippine visit. He leaves Monday. Follow the hashtag PopeFrancisPH. If there's anything you'd like the Pope to see, tweet photos with hashtag ShowThePope. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.